Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, MrBee Handyman Specialist. Today I'm gonna change oil on a 2015 Nissan Quest. Let's see how I do it. First, you gotta take this cover off. You go get underneath here, there's this cover right here. Gotta take this one off. And then take the cap off. These little plastic rivets are holding up the cover, so you gotta pop them off. There's some more right here. And right there. The first thing I do is to take the oil filter off first. Make sure you got a pan underneath. Just unscrew it. Just let it drip. You can make sure clean those excess oil out real good. And before I put a new oil filter in, I usually put oil inside the oil filter first. Make sure the filter is soaked with oil. Like so. And after that, you gotta put a little oil on the O-ring seal, on the oil filter seal. So when you put it back, you'll seat properly. Just like that. Just a little bit up. Now the reason why I put oil, pour some oil into the new filter, is because when you first start up the engine, that's the first thing that oil goes through, which is the filter, the oil filter. So if there's no oil inside the filter, just plain dry filter, then the oil not gonna go through the motor as quick. So basically you're gonna run the engine with no oil for a split 1 or 2 seconds. And that's the reason why I pour oil into the new filter. Now it's time to put the new oil filter on. What I usually do, I will tighten it up. When it's tight, then unscrew it out, tie it up again, screw it back out, tie it back up again, and then a quarter turn, just like that, just to make sure the O-ring will seal up with the plate, with the oil filter plate. That way you'll get a good seal, so you won't have no oil leak out of the oil filter. Now the last thing I do is to drain the oil. Now it's time to put the bolt back on. Wipe it up a little bit. Now it's time to tighten it up. You're gonna make sure that you don't over tighten the bolt, because if you over tighten it if you over tighten the bolt, you might strip it. Not too tight. Alright, it's done. Now you're gonna put a new oil in. Make sure you pour just a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 quarts. And after that, start the engine up, just to make sure all the oil are circulated, and let it sit for a little bit. About 2.5 quarts right there. Close the cap. And then start up the motor. Now after that, double check that there's no oil leak coming out from the oil filter. Okay, that one's good. Check the drain bolt. Make sure there's no leak, no oil leak. That one's good. Now gonna put the cover back on. Now the cover is on. Now since this van holds about 4.9 quarts, and I pour about 2.5 quarts already, so just pour 2 more quarts for now. A little bit more. So that's about 4 quarts total. Close the cap. And then I'm gonna bring the van down from the ramp and let it run for a little bit and shut it off, and let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then check the oil level, and then top off the rest of the oil. I got top off the oil. Make sure it's in the proper level. First, you want to check it. You want to check the oil level first before you top it off, so you don't overfill it. Still low. Once you pour the oil in, gotta let it sit for like 10-15 seconds. Make sure all the oil going down to the oil pan before you check the oil level. Looks good. Well, that's it for the oil change on 2015 Nissan Quest. If you like this video, if it's helpful and you enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, thanks for watching.